President Biden is in Peru today at the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Summit, or APEC. He's got some high-profile meetings with world leaders on the agenda, but his conversation with his Chinese counterpart tomorrow seems to be generating the most interest. CBS News correspondent Natalie Brand is in Lima and joins us now. All right, Natalie, break down the agenda for the president today.
Vlad, good to be with you from Lima. Well, this is President Biden's first day at the APEC summit, which is a mix, as you know, of leaders of Asia-Pacific countries and economies, as well as business leaders. Later this morning, President Biden expected to have a trilateral meeting with the president of South Korea, the new prime minister of Japan. This will be the first in-person meeting between President Biden and Japan's new leader. So that's significant. North Korea expected to be on the agenda during that meeting. And National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan noting on the way over here that during periods of transition from president to president, that is historically a time when North Korea may be looking to do some provocative action. So they're on guard for that, talking with allies about how to handle, various threats, and then also talking about the recent developments of North Korean soldiers being in Russia and making sure allies are on the same page in terms of a coordinated diplomatic and policy position on that front. President Biden also expected to meet today with Peru's president, where counter-narcotics is expected to be one of the big items on the agenda there, Vlad.
So let's talk, Natalie, about that meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping tomorrow. The feeling, of course, is that he's in a lame duck period of his presidency. So can we expect anything material to come out of that discussion?
Yeah, the White House has really said that this meeting is kind of taking stock of
did you watch
what's been discussed between the two leaders over the last 4 years. This will be their third in-person meeting since President Biden took office. But obviously, their relationship extends beyond that, back when President Biden was vice president. So it will be a chance to say, goodbye, but also to try to keep the lines of communication open. And that's one key issue that the Biden administration has really stressed, that it's important for stability between these two world powers and to try to prevent the relationship from escalating into any sort of misunderstanding or conflict. Particularly, you may remember last year when they met in conjunction with APEC in California that year, one of the big developments was restoring that military-to-military communication to, again, try and avoid misunderstanding and miscalculation. But I did, Vlad, speak to one expert on the region, a former government official during the Obama administration, who said that perhaps Chinese President Xi wants to signal kind of a willingness to strike a deal with the U.S. or, again, keep this communication going as there is uncertainty about the incoming Trump administration, the possibility of tariffs. Again, we'll have to wait and see what the leaders say following that meeting. But it is, again, a chance to try to encourage a seamless and smooth transition.
All right, Natalie Brand, great to have you there in Lima, traveling with the President of the United States. Thanks, Natalie.